All right, today we're going to get into a really chilling story from Bengali folklore. It's a tale that starts with a dark and stormy night and ends in a way that, well, it's pretty hard to explain. This is the story of the MECHO boot, or as you might call it, the fish ghost. So picture this. It's one of those nights where the rain is coming down so hard and the thunder is so loud you feel like the whole world is ending. And in the middle of all this chaos, a car pulls up to this small remote house, and a loud knock cuts through the sound of the storm. The family inside that car is led by a man named Tapan, who's just been transferred to the area for his government job. He's got his wife, Mandakini, and their two daughters, Sugandha and Indrani, with him. They're met at the door by the bungalow's caretaker, an old man named Bhuvan, who, right from the get-go, does not look happy to see them.
I mean, Bhuvan's hesitation is so thick you could cut it with a knife. He tells Tapan straight up, it might not be right to go at this time. He's really trying to get them to just stay put until morning, basically planting that first little seed of dread.
Okay, and this is where things start to get really weird. Tapan insists they have to go to the bungalow that night, but Bhuvan, he refuses a ride in their car, saying he knows a shortcut and will just walk. So the family drives off, and a few minutes later, they see someone who looks exactly like Bhuvan walking along the riverbank. But when they pull up to the bungalow, he's already there, waiting to greet them, and he swears he took a different path and was nowhere near that river.
So the family gets settled into this beautiful but very isolated bungalow. Bhuvan, who still looks super worried, gives them one last piece of advice. He tells them, hey, that river out there is gorgeous to look at, but it's probably best if you just stay away from it. He says the mud is slippery, but his tone, it suggests there's a much bigger danger lurking there.
The very next morning, Tapan's wife notices something unsettling. Out in the wet mud, there are footprints. But here's the thing. Nobody in the family went outside all night. So the question is, whose footprints are these? Who was creeping around their house while they were asleep?
Bhuvan comes to check them out, and he points out a detail that is just terrifying. He says, look closer. These tracks don't lead to the river. They lead from the river, and they come straight to their front door. Something came out of that water and walked right up to their house.
The family is obviously super confused, but Bhuvan, well, he has an explanation that's straight out of folklore. He points out how the footprints look reversed, almost like whoever made them was walking backward. And then he drops this bomb. Wouldn't the footprints of someone with backward feet look just like this? According to the old stories, those are the tracks of something not quite human.
So, a few days go by. Life starts to feel a little more normal. They've unpacked, settled in, and those creepy footprints are almost forgotten. Then, one afternoon, Mandakini asks her older daughter, Sugandha, to run to the market and pick up some fish for dinner.
On her way, down by the river, Sugandha bumps into this girl who is just stunningly beautiful, with these huge, captivating eyes. Sugandha is totally mesmerized. The girl says she lives close by, and then, completely out of the blue, she asks this really specific, really weird question. Will you give me fish? Right at that moment, Sugandha's younger sister calls out to her from the distance. Sugandha turns away for just a second to shout back, and when she turns back to ask the beautiful girl her name, nothing. She's gone. Vanished into thin air, like she was never even there. Sugandha is a little weirded out, but she shakes it off and goes to the market. But by the time she starts walking back home with the fish and some sweets, the sun is starting to set. And as she walks that path along the river, the whole atmosphere just shifts. It goes from peaceful to seriously menacing.
The first thing that hits her is the smell. It's this sudden, overwhelming stench of rotten, decaying fish. It's so powerful, it's like someone shoved it right under her nose. But when she looks around, there's absolutely nothing that could be causing it.
Totally creeped out now, Sugandha starts walking faster, and that's when she gets that feeling. You know the one I'm talking about? The feeling that someone is walking right next to you, a shadow keeping perfect pace with your own steps. She whips around, heart pounding in her chest, but there is nobody there.
And then she hears it, a soft, cold whisper right in her ear, and it's saying the exact same thing that mysterious girl by the river said, "Give me the fish." A chill just shoots down her spine. She clutches her bags and practically starts jogging. But whatever this thing is, it is not giving up. The voice comes back, only this time it's not a whisper. It's a sharp, angry snarl that seems to be coming from all around her, asking, You won't give me the fish?
And that's it. Pure panic sets in. Sugandha just breaks into a dead sprint, running for her life.
She finally makes it home and just collapses at the door, sobbing, completely terrified. She tries to tell her mom what happened, but Mandakini just dismisses it all, saying the caretaker, Bhuvan, has been filling her head with scary stories. She just tells Sugandha to go to her room and get some rest.
Later that night, when the house is dark and silent, a strange noise wakes Mandakini up. It's this faint sound, almost like shuffling or tearing, and it's coming from the kitchen. Thinking maybe a stray cat or something got in, she gets up to go check it out. But what she finds in that kitchen is not an animal. It's her daughter, Sugandha. She's crouched on the floor, surrounded by the raw fish that was supposed to be for dinner. Her face, her hands, her clothes, they're all smeared with fish blood as she tears into the raw flesh, looking less like a person and more like some kind of ravenous monster. Her mother screams her name in horror, and Sugandha looks up. But the voice that comes out of her daughter's mouth, it's not her own. It's cold, it's ancient, and it is utterly terrifying as it makes its final, chilling announcement. Now I will live with her. So you have to wonder, what happens when you ignore the warnings of folklore? And what exactly has just moved into their home?